You could hire the best marketing agency in the world, and your ads could still flop and end up wasting your money, all because they don't stand for the values that actually benefit you in the long run. Hi, I'm Terence Tam, and today I want to talk about what we stand for and what we stand against in radical marketing. And I believe that if you adopt these same philosophies in your marketing or when hiring an agency to do your marketing, you'll get what you actually paid for: results. Now, before I continue, I just want to say I'm not trying to get people to fire their agency or anything, all right? These are just the things I've personally learned from running multiple businesses myself and also being a marketer for over 30 years now. And each of these philosophies are guided by the idea that I want both me and my client to win. Instead of just fleecing them with a retainer while doing nothing that actually brings results. So let's get into it. The first thing we are against: fixed fees in the agency world. We believe in performance-based remuneration. Why is that? Think about it. If you had a salesperson, you are paying him or her based on his or her performance, right? You don't pay them just because they show up to work or just because they pick up calls. You need to make sure you treat your marketing people the same way, whether it's an agency or whether it's an in-house person that you've hired. Because if they are remunerated based on the results they get for you, you will see a much improved performance in your marketing. And that's why, for us, we never go with just fixed retainer. There has to be some performance incentive to it so that we are constantly finding ways to say, hey, how can we make more for this client so that they can pay us more? It's a win-win situation, right? It's logical. So I don't get it that people pay agencies $5,000, $10,000 fixed fees, whether they deliver or not. Of course, you can sack them if they don't deliver, but why not put in place an incentive so that they are always on the ball? And that's with us. We either go with a retainer plus a percentage of sales, or we just go pure sales percentage, right? So that is our number one philosophy, is that as marketers, we are like a growth partner, and growth partners should be rewarded based on their performance, not because they churn out 20 ads in 1 month or because they created 5 new ad copies this week. That is not how you should be remunerating them, because anyone can churn out 5 new ad copies or 10 new videos using AI nowadays in just a few hours, right? But what you need is someone who is focused on getting you the quality results that your business needs to grow. The second thing is willy-nilly split testing. I have seen so many ad accounts where there are 6 ads, 10 ads, and people call that testing. My goodness, you should see how many ads we test at the same time. It's usually at least 20, if not 30 or 40 or 50 ads that we test at the same time. And we don't test that on one platform. We test it on multiple platforms, be it Meta, be it YouTube, be it TikTok. And we are testing different platforms because different platforms have different reach to different types of people. And at the same time, we have multiple landing pages as well, because if we're speaking to more than one customer avatar, each customer avatar needs to have a specific message towards that customer avatar. For example, in some cases where we are targeting retirees, and at the same time, we are targeting working white-collar professionals. If your message for these 2 avatars is the same on the landing page, how effective can that be? It's just watered down. So you need to get specific landing pages, and that's our philosophy, for each customer avatar. And in fact, with that, we even split test those landing pages as well, right? So it's not just ads, it's funnels, it's platforms. Because here's the thing, right? Most marketers won't tell you this, and that is that only roughly 3 to 5% of ads actually work. Now think about it. If you have 6, 10, 12 ads, you're not even giving yourself a fair chance of finding an ad that actually works, right? It's only when you get to 20, 30, 40 ads, that's when you have a chance to find a real winner that is going to propel you. And sometimes we get ads, one ad, when we strike it right, is just a game changer for our clients. And that's why we produce multiple variations heavily with ads, with funnels, with platforms, so that we have the best possible chance of helping our clients find that ad that completely changes their business. Third thing that really irks me in the marketing agency industry is boring ads. Oh my gosh, there's so many boring ads nowadays, especially with AI now. Oh my goodness, people are just so freaking lazy. They just tell ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever it is, hey, here's my business. Spit out some ads for me on Meta. And everybody's ad looks the freaking same. There is no thinking, there is no thought, there's no research into the customer avatar. Now, if you study all the greatest copywriters, all the greatest marketers of all time, guess what they're doing most of the time? They're not looking for,
oh, let me see how we can hack this sentence and write it so that people magically, because of some magic word, they will sign up or buy my stuff.
no, they are not doing that. Guess what they are doing? They are on forums. They are doing surveys. They're out there talking to the customers to find out exactly what triggers them, what attracts them, what makes them not able to sleep at night, what keeps them awake at night, what questions do they ask themselves, what questions are they talking to their wives and husbands about at dinner time. Those are the things that you need to find out if you want to be a good marketer. And that is why we don't believe in boring ads produced by AI. Yes, we use AI to do some research to help us to generate ideas, yes, and to refine things and to spot check spelling mistakes, okay? But we do not use AI, plonk it, and then copy, paste, run ads. It just doesn't work, okay? AI does not have that emotional intelligence that you should have as a marketer. So that's why we believe it is so important to write ads that are not boring, that are not just AI generated, but research has been done and you understand the customer deeply. And that's why recently, when we launched this new campaign for clients, we are getting 17% click-through or on the ad, which is anybody that clicks the ad, right? So almost 1/5 of everybody scrolling on Facebook was actually stopping and clicking see more. That is how powerful it is when you actually do deep research. And the link click-through rate was something like 5 or 6%. And if you ask anybody out there, they will tell you, yeah, 1% is pretty good. You know, that's the standard. So we're getting 5, 6% on this particular ad, right? And that's because we spend the time doing the research, getting into the minds of the consumer and writing copy that matters to them. And the other thing with copy, we don't believe in just pure informative copy. Just another word on that. Because what happens with ChatGPT and a lot of amateur copywriters, what they do is just, they basically are putting information on the ad, which is fine so that people understand what they're signing up for or what they're buying. But pure information does not create shifts in buying or decision making. What you need to do is to create an emotional shift, maybe also by delivering an aha moment. Just like if you are focused on shifting a belief in your ad rather than blasting and trying to, force information down the brain of your prospect, you might get better ads, because by shifting that belief, the prospect would then be able to say, maybe this could work for me. I never thought of things this way. So that is our ultimate goal in our ads, is to create that shift in belief rather than just, here's the information, guys. So that's the difference that we have at Radical Marketing, and that's our philosophy in writing
ads. And one more thing about writing ads. Dan Kennedy, the great copywriter, once said, if I haven't offended anyone by lunchtime with my ads, that means I have written boring ads, right? So we believe at Radical Marketing, you cannot just be informative and boring. You need to shift beliefs. You need to step on some toes. Of course, you can't violate policy, but don't be afraid to step on some toes. So that is our philosophy for writing ad copy at Radical Marketing. The next thing that we are against at Radical Marketing is vanity metrics. Now, you've all heard that before with your other agencies where they're saying, oh, we're getting a lot of engagement. We're building the lists. We are generating lots of awareness. Guys, all that is bullcrap. Okay, if it doesn't generate sales, it's like bullcrap. Look, at Radical Marketing, we do run some branding ads as well. But the branding ads, the whole purpose there is a two-step thing where we are generating awareness, shifting a belief, and then having a call to action. So in that sense, we are still getting a decision from the prospect. We are not just running ads for the sake of it, getting likes, getting views, and all that stuff, because that does not pay the bills. So do not be fooled by saying, oh, I've got so much engagement with my post and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't matter, guys. What matters is the bottom line dollar. And that's why at Radical Marketing, the other thing that we do is that we track everything. We track every single ad to see not just how many leads it generated, but down to how many sales it generated and which variation of the ad that generated that sale. So maybe we had, one video ad, right, that generated lots of sales, but which variation of that video ad, because we generally create multiple variations of the video ad. Maybe there are 5 different openings. So which one of the openings actually generated it and which one of the headlines that we wrote for that ad, that video ad, actually generated the sales. So all that is important as well. Bottom line is that we track everything at Radical Marketing so that our clients do not waste money on unnecessary metrics that do not make an impact on the bottom line of their business. And we are against that. And that's why our philosophy there is that every ad should have a clear outcome that leads to a result that leads to a sale. So that is our philosophy when it comes to metrics. The next thing we are against is that there are many agencies out there telling people that, hey, just use this one solution, just use this one funnel, and you will make it to 7 figures. You will scale from 6 to 7 figures if you just use this one funnel. Guys, that may have happened in like 2016, but in 2025 or 2026 or whenever you're watching this video, it's not going to happen. The market has shifted. Things are sophisticated now. And even though we ourselves, when we advertise one service. Right now, for example, we are advertising our Sprint webinar service. But if someone comes in and we realize that, hey, this Sprint webinar service is not the best thing for them. Maybe we should do a product launch for them instead to their email list. And maybe we should do a JV promotion with this other client that we have to get them immediate results first, to prove that their offer works first before we launch a Sprint webinar or before we do like a 3-day challenge, which might be in consideration as well. That is what we need to be looking at, because that is how we see things, because we don't believe in one size fits all. We believe in a bespoke solution for each and every client in every scenario. And because of our 10, 11 years of running ads, doing marketing for clients so far, we have accumulated a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and different techniques and strategies that can help our clients to grow their business. And that's it. Ultimately, we're not just an agency that runs paid ads or builds funnels. What we do is we come in and we are the growth partner for our clients. We will look for opportunities to help them to grow their business. Because once again, that ties back to the first thing, where we are performance-based agency, that We want to help them to grow in any way possible. And sometimes it could be cold email might be the thing, could be LinkedIn outreach might be the thing. So there's no one size fits all. Whatever is best for the client, that is what we will recommend, and we will create a customized solution for each client. So that is the other thing that we are for and what we are against. Now, the final thing that we are against is evergreen solutions. Now, what do I mean by evergreen solutions? These are people who have done the same thing over and over again, and it's worked for them in the past, and the agency is like,
oh, we've done this for like few hundred clients in the past, so we will continue to do this step by step, exactly the same.
Now, we at Radical Marketing, we know that marketing in the digital space is always changing. What was working 2 years ago is not working now. Not to mention like 5 years ago or 10 years ago. That's just crazy. For example, short videos weren't a thing until 2020 when TikTok came in and like everybody was into short videos. And now it's a common thing. And now we have AI chatbots, AI voice bots. So if you're not using stuff like that and you're still doing the old thing where, say, if you're running an event and you're calling everyone that registers for the webinar saying, hey, are you going to show up? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, make sure you show up. Any reason why you're not showing up. Rather than using AI, like a voice AI to call or a chatbot AI to follow up on SMS or WhatsApp or whatever the platform is, then you're wasting a lot of time and energy, and it could drastically negatively impact your business. So at Radical Marketing, what we are doing is we're constantly innovating. We're constantly finding new solutions to existing problems, because our goal is not to shoehorn our customers into one process. We are always looking for new ways to streamline the process for customers, to streamline the process for ourselves so that we can serve the customers better and saving costs for the customers while getting better results. So we are fully adopting AI, but again, not in the whole replacing a copywriter kind of thing or replacing graphic designers, but we are using it so that we can help our clients to stand out more. We are using that to streamline our clients' sales and marketing process even more so that they can ultimately get better results, which in turn, because of our performance philosophy, performance remuneration philosophy, we get paid more. So that's the final thing that we are for and what we're against. And we're constantly innovating, constantly finding better ways to help our clients win in their business.
Listen, you made it this far. That means one of two things. Either you're genuinely interested in this stuff, or YouTube's algorithm is messing with you. Either way, hit that like button, subscribe if you want more of this without the BS. And if you're ready to keep learning, watch this next video about one stupid simple landing page tweak that nearly tripled our clients' leads. Trust me on this one.